Good morning, students. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Mayong adlaw kaninyong tanan. So our lesson for today will be all about operation with integers or operations on integers. So first of all, we need to define integers. What are integers? Integers include all of the positive and negative whole numbers, including 0. So we have here examples on the left side here. We have 3, -4, 12, and 0. While on the other side are the examples of non-integers. We have -1.652, 3/4, 2.5, and 0.7. So what is the difference between integers and non-integers? Of course, as you can observe, these are all set of natural numbers or whole numbers, while on the other side is anything that is not stated on our definition. So non-integers can be a real number or a complex number. So we will start our discussion with the operation addition. Adding integers. So how do you add an integer or integers using a number line? So we have here 3 steps to follow. First is to find the first number. Second, move the distance of the second number. So we have here two conditions. If the second number is positive, you have to move right. If the second number is negative, you have to move left. And lastly, where you land is the answer. So this is how the number line look like. The middle value is 0, and all of the values to the right of 0 are all positive numbers, while on the other side are all negative numbers. So let's take our first example, which is 5 plus 8. According to the rule, we have to find first the first number, which is 5. And here is the number line, and 5 or positive 5 is located at the right of 0 here. This is positive 5. And the second number is also a positive number. That's why we must move it to the right accordingly. 8 units. So from 5, we will count 8 units to the right. So let's count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And accordingly, where you land is the answer. And since this is where we landed, and this grid here has the value of positive 13. So meaning to say, the sum of our first example is positive 13. Okay, so let's take another examples. Using also number line. So our next example is -4 plus 1. The first number is located to the left or from the left of 0. So this is -4. And the second number is a positive number, meaning to say we will move it to the right with only 1 unit. So we will start from -4, counting 1 unit to the right, and this is now our sum. And this grid has the value of -3. So this has, or the sum of this example is -3. Second, we have 7 plus -9. 7 is located here, right side of 0 because it's positive. But a second number is a negative number, meaning to say we've got to move it to the left from 7. And how many units? Correct, 9 units from 7. So we will count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is where we landed, and this grid has the value of -2. Okay, good. Now for our last example using the number line, we have our first number as -8, and it is located from the left of 0. This is -8. And the second number is also a negative number, so we will move it to the left 4 units from -8. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where we landed, and this value is -12. -12. Okay, now do you understand how to add integers using the number line? Okay, very good. So now let's proceed. So there is another way on how to add integers without the use of the number line. So we just need to follow these rules. When integers are both positive, add the numbers. So we have here the example, 4 plus 6, both numbers are positive, and according to the rule, just add them. And 4 plus 6 will give us 10. Next rule, if both integers are negative, you have to add the numbers and make the sum negative. So let's take this example. Negative 2 plus negative 5. Both are negative numbers. So we need to add this 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. And we will make 7 negative. Okay, so let's proceed. Lastly, the last rule is one positive and one negative. So this example is they're having different signs. So what we're going to do is you just need to subtract and use the sign of the bigger number. So let's have the example negative 7 plus 4. They have different signs. So we need to subtract them. 7 minus 4 will give us the difference of 3. But we need to use the sign of the bigger number. We know for sure that 7 is bigger than 4. And the sign of 7 is negative. That's why we need to use it. And the sum will become negative 3. Okay, so now let's apply everything. You try adding integers without using the number line. First is we have 12 plus negative 4. So we need to use this application paint. 12 plus negative 4. Third rule says that if they don't have the same sign, you need to subtract them. So 12 minus 4 will give us 8. And use the sign of the bigger number. And since 12 is bigger than 4 and 12 is positive, so our final answer must also be positive. Next is negative 8 plus negative 9. So we have here negative 8 plus negative 9. Okay. Both numbers are negative, so we will apply the second rule, which is to add these two numbers. 8 plus 9 is 17, and we will make 17 as negative. Okay, third, we have 2 plus 13. 2 plus 13. Both numbers are positive, so we can use the rule or the first rule, which is to just add them. So 2 plus 13 is 15. Lastly, negative 11 plus 5. Negative 11 plus 5. Okay, both numbers or they don't have the same signs. So meaning to say we will apply the third rule, which is to subtract these two numbers, and that will give us the difference of 6. And we will use the sign of the bigger number. 11 is bigger than 5 and 11 is a negative number, meaning to say the sum is a negative. Okay, negative 6. Now, did you understand our lesson for today? Okay, very good. So thank you for listening, and that's all for today. Goodbye.